For more, we're going to cross now to our correspondent in Tehran, Reza Sayah. Hi, Reza. So as we heard there, the Iranian president then is not backing down on his condemnation of the protests.
Well, nobody expected him to back down, and it's no surprise that he didn't say anything earth-shattering in his statements last night. This was about an 80-minute live sit-down interview between a leading TV presenter and Mr. Ebrahim Raisi. And it's interesting, for the first 30 minutes of the interview, he didn't talk about the death of Mahsa Amini. He didn't talk about the protests. And essentially, it was a message from Mr. Raisi that even though these protests are making international headlines, no one's going to dictate to him what's priority. So initially, he spent the first 30 minutes talking about his recent state visits. However, when he did talk about Mahsa Amini and the protests, he spent the remaining 40 minutes of the interview discussing the matter. Initially, he conveyed sympathy. He said the death of Mahsa Amini saddened him and all Iranians and concerned him and all Iranians. He stressed that soon after he found out about the death of Mahsa Amini, he contacted his family and ordered an investigation by the government. He said the results of that investigation should be available in the coming days. He also said that expressing opposing views and peaceful protests and even criticism is something that the government needs to tolerate. He says it's necessary for the government to hear those opposing views in order to improve their laws. However, he made clear that peaceful dissent and protests are different from anarchy and sowing chaos. And he explicitly said that foreign enemies of Iran, including America, were part of these anti-government protests designed to sow chaos and anarchy. And he stressed that those anti-government protesters, those people that are sowing chaos, should be prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law.
So, Reza, where do his comments leave the protests then? Are protesters planning to continue?
I think there's growing indications over the past 72 hours that the protests are starting to die down. And I know there's a lot of opponents of this government that don't like to hear that, but there's been fewer amateur videos posted online. And I think the fact that Mr. Raisi went on television last night and spoke live about this matter suggests that authorities believe that they have things under control. However, a lot of Iranians still have grievances, still want reform. And it's interesting, at one point in his interview last night, the TV presenter said, could there be reform when it comes to laws? And without mentioning hijab, Mr. Raisi said, sure, we're open to reform, but we're not open to changing our values. And my take is, he said, the hijab law is not going to change, is going to be in place, but how we enforce the law could change.
Reza Sayah in Tehran, thank you very much.